I'll be right back. Hi, Bill. Okay. Hey. Okay. I'm totally gonna cry when I talk. I'm such a baby. Hey, Bill. This is so silly that I'm crying because it's really not that big of a deal. Okay, so my nature is to have grace for everybody all the time. And not that I'm not willing to challenge people, but I understand life, and I understand that life is hard and can be overwhelming, and I really don't know why I'm so emotional about this. It's because I'm nervous to tell you what is on my mind. So I have some things. I wish that when I was in Periscope, I knew how to change, make it so that people can call in. Okay, so here's the deal. I have some things I want to talk about, and this is stemming from me, looking at my own life and my own business and my own self, but that has allowed me to look at our team as a whole. And I know that not everyone on here is directly on my team or under me, but it might still apply to you. So it is really natural and easy for me when someone is in a place where they're like, I can't work very hard right now because of X, Y, and Z, for me to be like, I get it. That makes so much sense. But what I'm realizing is that we all have reasons all the time why we can't work hard. And Amy Swanson is such an amazing example to me of a hard worker, because she has worked hard consistently for the almost 2 years she's been here. And in those 2 years, she has had a husband who has worked out of town for a significant amount of time. And in that time, she was pregnant and had a toddler. And those are all really valid reasons why we stop working, or why we don't make work a priority. And this business is so confusing sometimes for our mind, because it's here so that we can make our own schedule and make our own choices, but it's also here to change our life. But we cannot change our life if we don't work hard for a while. You know what I mean? This is not the kind of business that if we let our excuses get in the way will ever change our life. It won't, because I mean, if we had an 8 to 5 job, 8 to 6, 8 to 3, I don't know, whatever hours people work when they go to an office, if we allowed our excuses, our life, our real issues get in the way of not going to work, we'd be fired and we'd have no income at all. And so I'm just realizing that my example to our team has not necessarily been a good example of how to work. I hate that I can see myself. Despite our hard things, our excuses. And it's hard for me to say, stop letting your excuses get in your way. It's hard for me to say that, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm not meaning to cry so hard. I know that it is not my fault. Like, I know I cannot take the blame for if our team maybe as a whole is not very hard workers. And yet I recognize that I have not been a good example of that. And so I am taking that responsibility. And I'm telling you guys that I will no longer be an example of letting life be a reason that my family's life doesn't change. We can't complain when we don't promote, when we don't work. We can't complain when our volume doesn't go up, when we don't work. And what I mean by working is, we can't work for, half an hour here and there, or inconsistently. Maybe this week we work and then the next 3 weeks we don't. That isn't work, you guys. Working is working every day, at least 5 days a week. And I get that we're going to have moments where we can't. Like, I get that. I get where we have, and that is the beauty of this job. But if we're not careful, we let those moments turn into months and into a year. And then a year goes by and we're like, nothing has happened in my business. This is clearly, I'm not meant to be here. Clearly, this isn't for me. And yet that's a big fat lie. The truth is we haven't worked. My husband worked. It is the beauty and the curse. My husband worked like an animal for 15 years, 17 years. And he never made money. He never made any more money. But he did it, whether he felt like it or not, whether he felt good or not, whether he missed things or not, whether life was hard or not. He did it because that's what he committed to doing. And so I know that if I work really hard for a couple years, I'm going to get to the place, I'm going to get to ambassador, and I'm going to get to the place where I can take a month off. And I don't mean like I won't ever connect and that kind of thing, but where I can go on vacation for a month and I don't have to worry about it but I have to work to get there. It's not going to happen by wishing or hoping. And I worked really hard for a few months when I first started. And I can be honest and say I have not worked really hard since. I've had moments of working hard. But anyway, so I am taking my responsibility in the lack of growth in my own business. And I'm asking you to do the same. If you can, sorry, my phone keeps ringing. If you can look at this last year and honestly say, I worked good and I worked hard, then your business has grown. Like, I don't believe at all that your business hasn't grown. And so if you can look at this last year and say, my business hasn't grown, I know you can look and say, I did not work good and I did not work hard. I have worked okay. I work every day to some extent. Like, I post a lot, and I probably contact 5 people a week or whatever. So I'm not saying I don't work at all, but that kind of work is not going to bring life-changing results. And I love you guys. I love you so much, but I know that most of you don't work at a rate that will bring life-changing results. And I'm not thinking about anyone in specific. I'm just in particular at all. So please don't sit here watching this and be like, oh, she's talking to me. Because if I had one person to talk to, I would talk to that one person. I am talking about as a team environment. We are not hard workers. And I'm not okay with that. We had something really hard financially happen while I was gone at conference, and Bill called me. And I cried because I was like, I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of hard financial things bringing us to tears. And I was like, Bill, I'm sorry. I'm like, I have not worked the way that I said that I would in this business. I have not made it the priority. Thank you, Chelsea. So I am, on my end, I am committing that I am changing my family's life, and I am willing to do the hard work that it takes. I sent out so many messages yesterday that were hard. Some of them were scary. This video is hard. But I told God I'm willing to do hard things. If I'm willing to do hard things, big things happen. And so I'm putting my pride aside, and I'm telling you where I have failed, and I'm asking you to look at yourself. And thanks, guys. I feel like a lousy leader, because a really good leader would show you how to work really hard. And so that's what I'm committing to. I'm showing you how to work really hard, but you have to be willing to work really hard, and you have to be willing. I cannot make this happen for you. I just can't. I can't do it for you. And so you need to decide that you are willing to work hard. And the hard work, you guys, watching those ambassadors and Black Diamonds stand on stage and talk about the hours they put in, but now the freedom that they have, like, freedom doesn't come for free. The only freedom that comes for free is the freedom of Jesus. Like, that is the only freedom in the world that comes for free. All other freedom has to be worked for. When we were getting out of debt, like, we're not quite there, but as we've been getting out of debt, we had to work our asses off for that, you guys. That did not just happen. We couldn't just hope that it happened. We couldn't just wish that we would be out of debt. We had to make hard decisions every single day, every single day, sometimes every single hour of the day. And yet it has been one of the most worthwhile things we've done. And so, who's ready to work their ass off with me? I hope my mom's watching this and is like cringing that I've just sworn twice. So I need to know, because I need you to know that I don't have any more excuses. I don't care how many kids I have. I don't care that I have adopted a teenager in the last year, and that's hard. There's always something hard. Hard doesn't ever stop, you guys, because that is life. If we are involved in relationships, if we are involved with people, yes, Chelsea, the system will do the other half of the other ass for us. But as long as we're involved in people's lives, life is going to be hard. There's always going to be reasons. There's always going to be reasons that we can't work. And so I need you to hear me say that what I'm saying is not a judgment at all. Please, 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 please hear me say that this is not a judgment at all. This is just a reality and a truth of me and of so much of our team. So anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for the hearts. That's made it a lot easier, because I was crying before I even started this stupid video, because I was whatever. So I love you guys. Okay, let's work hard.